Chloe's going to be 5 in another couple of weeks. And she has jellies on too, huh? But it was a one bed. We had an augment because we found these jellies for smaller. You're 4. It's way too easy.
That should be in your portfolio. I like it.
Something like that.
Yes, I think that's
The apartment that's not necessarily specifically yours, but that layout.
Say hi, Chloe.
Where's his hair?
Hi, sweetie.
Is Play-Doh for eating?
Yeah.
Come on, Barbara. I got you.
It's in the what should be the master bedroom of the house because it's the only one on the first floor that's big enough to accommodate her. And we have to fit into her. There's Chloe. Hey, Chloe, say hi. And that would be one of Chloe's 8 or 10 nurses, Kim, who's going to be so happy I did that. So, I don't know if you can tell, but Chloe's most favorite thing in the world is going to Disney World. She has some really good friends down there who treat her so well. Disney is a great place for her. So her bedroom is dedicated. That's her friend Scoot Sanderson's hat from Main Street. He's the Main Street reporter at Disney, and he gave it to her as a gift. All right, Chloe. Chloe's other favorite thing to do is what, Chloe? Watch TV. Purple? You want me to tell him purple's your favorite color and that's why your bedroom's purple? It is. Okay. We had to put a washer and dryer in Chloe's room because we do about 7 loads of laundry a day. This is Chloe's bathroom, which also doubles as her storage room for her equipment. Close. So now let's tell them a little bit about you, right? What do you want to tell them? That your favorite color is purple, and that this is the floor where Connie does therapy on you. She lies you on a mattress on the floor, and that's how you get your physical therapy. This is your wheelchair. That and you are learning how to use an electric wheelchair at school, right? Yeah. All right, we're doing the best we can to fit you in here. This is
Let me tell you something. You're very excited, aren't you? Your cooking is good. Let's take a picture.
Gentlemen,
watch for
Chloe, Margaret, Massia, ran lifting 175 pounds with Grandma's help.
She's holding it down.
Get up there.
The other
Get
way
up
up.
there. She's really holding it down.
It's my turn. Hey, I want a big thing.
Oh.
150?
Time 200.
Sweetheart?
Yeah.
There you go. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween.
Thank you.
You get the free ride. Oh boy.
Here you go,
That's
Chloe.
what I need. I can't even carry one of them little.
It's over. Your sister won.
Start again.
You get all the cards. You get all the cards. I get all the cards.
Now we have enough money.
You checking your baby?
Let's start a little ACB.
Can I check my baby? Okay.
We invite you all to cheer them on as we proudly present a magical moment from a Walt Disney classic.
Look at me, I'm in.
Flowers are okay there. Would you like me to move?
But, and then
Can I like that?
Hi, I'm Marie Rand.
I'm Liv Rand.
I'm Zach Rand.
I'm Ava Rand.
And I'm Elijah.
We are so happy you tuned in. Welcome to Virtually Breathless, an evening of raising awareness and funds for research for pulmonary hypertension. We invite you to sit back, relax, bring your favorite snack, and enjoy an evening of storytelling and incredible performances from nearly 30 Broadway stars and some of our very dear friends.
Pulmonary hypertension is a rare, life-threatening disease affecting the arteries of the lungs and can lead to right heart failure. pH is when blood pressure is elevated in the lungs. Pulmonary arterial hypertension, PAH, is one form of pulmonary hypertension. It is caused by narrowing of the blood vessels in the lungs. Presently, there are 16 approved medications for PH, but there is no cure.
Together, my siblings and I co-founded Breathless on Broadway. We are here tonight in celebration of World PH Day while honoring our sister Chloe. All who are touched by pulmonary hypertension and all who work tirelessly in the PH community. PH has been a part of our family for 28 years, and music has been a part of our family for even longer.
We welcome you to our family home, best known as Grandma and Grandpa's house. Here's where my mom and dad lived together for more than 50 years and where I have spent every Christmas on the couch that we just relocated into the dining room so we could recreate the famous Sardi's restaurant where the event usually is live. So please summon your imagination and step into a world created to celebrate all whose lives have been touched by PH and our beloved Broadway community. Welcome to our very special journey as we share our story of love, loss, friendship, rebirth, and hope.
We'd like to thank everyone who is supporting this evening's event, including Johnson & Johnson Company, United Therapeutics, Acceleron, Alvin Sciences,
Gossamer Bio,
Bayer Pharmaceuticals, and Stage Door Designs.
Not moving? Okay.
So,
Sorry, we're new at this. Breathless on Broadway usually takes place in Sardi's restaurant in New York City, where we have 120 of our closest friends. But this year, obviously, we're doing something a little different, so bear with us while we figure out how to do it.
while we're figuring that out, I'd like to introduce our original song that was written for us this year, titled One Breath at a Time, featuring the pulmonary hypertension community.
Times that you just wish it disappeared, but instead of trying to hide it, just try and persevere. There are good days, there are bad days, there are days you're put through hell, but every day we'll find a way to live well. You just gotta breathe, just gotta believe you're gonna be free to brave the fight. Do more than survive, we're all gonna thrive. Our family will unite, your song will be sung, may we be your lungs, your mountain we will climb. We're gonna make it there, one breath at a time.
There are others who know what you're going through. A community of allies and friends both old and new. We hear you, we are here for you, and we hereby set our vow that we won't miss. We'll get through this somehow.
You just gotta breathe, just gotta believe you're gonna be free to brave the fight. Do more than survive, we're all gonna thrive. Our family will unite, your song will be sung, may we be your lungs, your mountain we will climb. We're gonna make it there, one breath at a time. Sometimes you have to slow down, but slowing down's okay.
'Cause you've gotta take care of yourself in your own way.
This journey that you have begun takes courage every day. From the high to the low, you'll continue to grow every single day. And that's here to stay.
You just gotta breathe, just gotta believe you're gonna be free to brave the fight. Do more than survive, we're all gonna thrive. Our family will unite, your song will be sung, may we be your lungs, your mountain we will climb. We're gonna make it there, one breath at a time. We're gonna make it there, one breath at a time.
Thank you to Janssen, a Johnson & Johnson company, for sponsoring Virtually Breathless.
It's been a year, it's finally here, the COVID-19 vaccine. That little vial will make you smile, the COVID-19 vaccine. Can't you see immunity is best for our community? too. We'll see you through the COVID-19 vaccine. Our nation, vaccination, don't miss this new sensation. Come on and do your part. No better time to start. So go and get the COVID-19 vaccine.
I usually start this event by giving a little bit of a background as to our family connection to pulmonary hypertension. In 1992, I gave birth to the oldest of my 5 children, Chloe. She was discharged from the hospital when she was a day old and sent home perfectly healthy. Within the first week, about day 3, she stopped eating, and I took her back to the pediatrician, who told me to go to a midwife because he called me a first-time worrying mother. And day 4, she still wasn't eating. Day 5, she started getting lethargic. Day 6, the same. By day 7, I sat on the floor in the pediatrician's office and told him that I was unwilling to leave until he figured out what was wrong with her. And he called in his partner, who stuck his pinky in Chloe's mouth, and she turned this brilliant shade of blue and was rushed to the local hospital. Later that evening, she was transported down to Cornell University in New York City. And I remember waiting for all those hours that I was in the hospital in White Plains, New York, pacing back and forth, and it was a phone that still had the cord, because there was no such thing as a cell phone, and it had this really super long cord, and I was pacing back and forth, and I was going between calling my sister Fran and calling my brother Rob and calling my sister Fran and calling my brother Rob, because I literally, first time mom, 28 years old, supposed to have a healthy child, didn't have any idea what was going on. When I got to Cornell with my mom and my dad, my husband, and my brother-in-law Frank, who showed up from across the street where he was working, we sat in the back of this NICU in these chairs where we just waited for somebody to come tell us what was happening. I tell this story because I know that a lot of the people who are watching, who are patients, we've all kind of traveled similar and different journeys, but the journey is sometimes long and sometimes extremely difficult. And inside my heart, I believe with hope that we end up in the right place where we can be taken care of. So there we are in the NICU waiting, and this doctor comes over and he pulls out like this pad and he starts drawing this picture of a heart, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, high school biology is not going to pull this off for me. Like, I have no idea what this man's talking about, but okay, I'm going to go with it. And you know, I'm 7 days postpartum. I can barely stand on my feet, and I'm under an inordinate amount of stress. And basically the gist of it was she was missing her aorta. She had what was called a fully interrupted aorta, and she had a hole in her heart between her ventricles. And she was going to require surgery fairly quickly. So day 8, Chloe, I have to put in this one little piece of this little caveat. One of the most brilliant things that happened for me was my family came in and surrounded me, as they always do. And when my brother Rob and my sister-in-law Nancy got there, my brother is a doctor, and everything kind of changed. Instead of talking to me, the doctors were talking to a doctor, and he was able to understand what was happening, and then he would literally take me outside into a conference room, and he would re-explain everything to me until I got what was happening. Which reminds me today of the way we work to educate people and to educate patients to help them better understand what's happening. We had no cell phones, we had no internet. I had a big brother, and I felt very lucky for that. And I actually have 2 big brothers who were pretty helpful. So on day 8, Chloe underwent major heart surgery. They repaired her aorta using a piece of Gore-Tex and a saphenous vein that came out of her arm. And she was, we were told everything was good. And a couple of days later, we went out to dinner. It was the first time I had left the hospital, really. And we went out to dinner, and when we came back, they wouldn't let us in. And Chloe was in cardiac arrest, and they actually sent us into one of those residence lounges, like with the cots, like from Grey's Anatomy, and they said, go lie down there and wait, and we'll come back and we'll tell you what's happening. I was with my sister and my brother-in-law and my nephew, who was very young at the time. And they came to us and they said they had stabilized her. And then they started to do some testing and they found some other things wrong with Chloe. And she had something called diabetes insipidus, and she also had a rare neurologic condition, which we all know is kind of like not uncommon with people who have some sicknesses. You can have multiple things. And the doctor said that she would have no quality of life, never hold her head up, never recognize us, and she would be institutionalized so we could leave her in the hospital with them and go home and start our life over again. That was kind of a no-go for my family. That was not what especially Grandma. Grandma was not having that. So the next 6 weeks we spent in the hospital, struggling because Chloe had difficulty feeding and she was taking a lot of medications. And so long story short, my very brazen mom said to me, I will not curse, but she did, she said, what's it going to take to get our baby out of this hospital? She needs to come home. And that's when a nurse came up and talked to me about putting a G-tube into Chloe's stomach, a tube where she could directly feed in her stomach. And once that was placed, then it became learning about medications and how to draw and administer and all of the machinery that I was going to have to use at home, oxygen, pulse ox, everything that was going to go along with taking my 7-week-old baby home from the hospital, which we did. And we arrived home with 12 hours of nursing care in the home and a do not resuscitate, a DNR that was taped over her crib. Because we fully expected her to die. Time started to pass. Grandma and Grandpa came every weekend to visit, and we started to realize that Chloe was able to understand things and recognize things. Like, she'd walk up and down the hallway of our apartment building with my dad, and there every couple of feet there was a light, and Grandpa would say, "Where's the light?" and Chloe would point up to the light, and then they'd go to the next one and he'd do it again, and we were kind of thinking, what's going on here? Then she started laughing at funny TV, and like she clearly it was much more than they told us in regard to her neurologic condition. And on one very distinct night, one of the nurses came to me and she said, what do you say we go rip up that DNR that's over Chloe's crib? I think that we don't need it. And so we pulled that thing down, and I remember we tore it up into the tiniest little pieces and we threw it in the trash together. It was very ritualistic, and we threw it away. And I went from having what I thought was a dying child to having what I hoped to be a living child. And so we went back to the cardiologist, and Chloe was about 8 months old, and we went with the intent of closing the hole in her heart, and they said, her aorta is not really working, so we're going to have to replace that again. So at 8 months old, Chloe went through her second major heart surgery where they repaired her aorta for a second time. And that one went pretty smoothly. That was only about 10 days in the hospital. That was pretty good. Then we went in for pre-op testing to close the hole in her heart. And the VSD closure was supposed to be the simple surgery. And they came out of the cath lab and said they had found something called primary pulmonary hypertension 28 years ago, and that was the only term for pulmonary hypertension. We have many, many more now. And they said they would be unable to do surgery on her because if they closed the hole in her heart, it would elevate the pressures in her lungs and her body wouldn't be able to take it, and she would die from it. So they sent me home again. About a week later, I went to visit Chloe's gastroenterologist, whose name is Joseph Levy, and I say his name every time in honor of him because he was the man who made everything turn around for us. And Joseph was functioning as Chloe's pediatrician, and he said, why haven't they sent you to Robin Barst? And who's Robin Barst, of course. And Robin was a cardiologist 100 blocks north in New York City at Columbia Presbyterian, and she was part of the team of people who was studying the first drug in clinical trials for pulmonary hypertension. So I went with my child and no records or any information about what had transpired for the first 8 months of her life, and I went to see Robin. And after assessment, she said that she thought, we might be able to use this first drug in clinical trials to lower the pressures in Chloe's lungs long enough to close the hole in her heart, and then see if it could keep her stable for a while, and it might save her life. We weren't sure, but it was the best shot we had. So when Chloe was 1.5 years old, she went in for that heart surgery. I remember handing her over to the anesthesiologist because I couldn't stand that she was being wheeled in on a gurney, and he said, I'll carry her in my arms. And we waited for about 8 hours, and Robin came out once to tell us that Chloe wasn't necessarily gonna get off bypass, and I don't know, I had the hope of a mom and the heart of a mom, and I asked Robin to go back and check on Chloe, and she did, and Chloe had stabilized, returned to the ICU, and that was the magic of being part of the very first clinical trial in a very big way, and it is why I'm so passionate about clinical trials, and why many of you who know me know that I talk about them all the time and how important they are, because my daughter Chloe was in the very first, and she was actually considered kind of like patient number 1. She was the first person to have the surgery. And at the time, when we had nothing, there were all of these people working together, doctors and patients, and it was like everybody was kind of a warrior trying to figure out what to do for pulmonary hypertension. And it was like our hearts were so deeply in it because it was going to happen. And I can say proudly today that we have 16 approved medications for pulmonary hypertension. We have clinical trials going on now for things that are going to be game changers for our patients. And what it will do is it will allow for happier, healthier, longer lives. And it thrills me that my daughter and I, our entire family was part of that initial phase of this, and that it continues on today. So I personally advocate on a daily basis for everyone who has pulmonary hypertension, wishing that we will get to the point where we find a cure. And I'm going to quote something Robin said to me long ago. I remember her saying, I remember asking her, how long would Chloe live? And she said, for every year that Chloe lives, there's another year that experts around the world will be working to create change, and more things will come to help PH patients. So that means in the past 28 years, we went from 0 to 16 medications. And my hope is that we will find many more. To finish the story about Chloe, because it becomes an integral part of the story of the evening, Chloe went on to get a bunch of brothers and sisters, and we lived life to its fullest. It was really important for me that Chloe not be considered different, right? So
I think they saw a little bit of what our life was like. And we had this, I have this amazing, huge, loving family who were just incredible at helping me, as part of my village, helping me raise everybody. And the love for Chloe was very deep and very profound. And we spent a lot of years with Chloe doing really well. And then in the end of 2005, she got sick when we were at the movie theater on New Year's Eve, because no nurse was willing to work on New Year's Eve, and I had 5 small kids. So we went to the movies, and Chloe started to complain, and I took her out to the car to try and calm her down, played Full House, her favorite TV show, didn't work,
called one of my nurses, and Kim said, maybe she's getting sick. And it really hadn't dawned on me. And within a couple of days, she was in the hospital with a wicked case of tonsillitis. She kind of ran the gamut. We were in the hospital for a while. She came home, she was doing okay, but Robin said to me, although I had promised you we'd never do another surgery on Chloe, her tonsils have to come out, they're gonna make her too sick. So in April of 2006, we went to the hospital for a quick tonsillectomy, and Chloe grew septic post-op. And on May 9th, 2006, Chloe passed away. And today, I literally spend all of my time living in honor of my child who gifted me this ability to advocate for other people. She taught me very strong, it was a very strong lesson for me, learning how to advocate. And that's why I, through both PH Aware, which I'm a co-founder, and through the American Thoracic Society, where I sit on a board, and along with my children, work tirelessly to help our PH community. So I just want to say thank you to everybody tonight for being here. And I did need to give you a little background, because I think we have a few hundred people watching tonight who may not know Chloe, and I wanted to be sure that I got that in there. So.
So, I guess really quick, I should talk about sort of what happened after that.
Yes. Yeah. Also important.
When Chloe passed away, it was devastating. And life was sort of falling apart as we knew it. And for some, I don't know, crazy reason, I found myself cast as Gavroche in the 2007 Broadway revival of Les Mis about 6 months after she passed away. And our lives got flipped upside down in the greatest way. Suddenly, out of nowhere, my family, who were deep in the process of grieving and learning how to live without Chloe, were thrown into one of the most kind and loving communities that I have had the pleasure of knowing, and that is the Broadway community. Not very many people know the impact that they had on me and my family, but a lot of them knew what had happened and that it hadn't really been that long ago. And in subtle ways, I knew that they were there for me. Whether that was opening night and just very simply somebody like putting their hand on my back while we were on stage, or people coming down to my dressing room to play Super Smash Brothers on my GameCube before the show, or I guess at that point my Nintendo Wii, or Leia Salonga invited me down to her dressing room so that we could paint our toenails together, and they were just so kind, and I don't think they knew how much their small and simple acts of kindness, I don't think they knew that it profoundly affected me, because I felt loved, and I felt safe, and I felt protected, and I knew that the people around me had our back, and would always support us. On the first anniversary of Chloe's death, we asked company management at Les Mis if it would be okay if we did something as a family. Normally, I had to stay backstage. If I wasn't on that night, I had to be backstage in the event that the other Gavroche got sick or got hurt or whatever. I was always supposed to be on standby. And it's like a big no-no to like not be in the theater when you're on standby. But they knew that it was a big deal, and so they said, sure, just make sure you're in the city. Make sure you're within walking distance of the theater. And so we decided to go see Mary Poppins.
Wait, I bought the cheapest seats I could because I have a lot of kids and it costs a lot of money. And so I bought the box seats.
Yes, and I believe we split into two different boxes because there's only 2 seats per box.
Well, so I had Ava and Elijah in the lower box, and you and Liv were in the upper box.
And at intermission,
No, it wasn't intermission. I'm gonna have to take over.
Okay, go for it.
It was right as they finished The Perfect Man, the first song.
Ah.
You leaned over.
I thought I was respectful and waited for the performance.
No, there was no waiting. And you legit did this. Like you went, hey ma, down into the box, and you said, is it okay with you if I take this show next?
And and a year later, to the day, I was in the company management offices at Disney signing my contract to join the cast of Mary Poppins on Broadway.
Did they ask you why you interrupted the show?
No, I don't think anyone actually noticed. And that's where I met our first performer of the evening, Nick Tremard. Now, Nick was one of my favorite cast members, and I don't think I ever said this to him, but he's just a ball of energy and filled with so much love, and it was just always fun to be around him. And on top of that, he was also an understudy for Bert. And it was always really cool when Nick got to play Bert that night.
Not that we didn't love Gavin.
Oh, not that we didn't love Gavin.
It's like having a substitute teacher.
It is. It's like having a substitute. You can do things that you're not supposed to do. You can fool around a little bit more. But it's also like a change of pace, you know? You're like, oh, things are different tonight. And then having somebody that, like, you know, off the stage you just really, really love is awesome. So I think with that...
Well, let's do a little bit of this. So Nick was in Mary Poppins with you.
Nick was in Mary Poppins with me.
Did he tour with you too? Did we decide that he was on the national tour also?
Yes, okay, and so to make this story very short, I got too tall to be on Broadway, and so I went to their offices and they were like, you're a little too tall now. And I was like, oh, okay, like I'm gonna be leaving, that's all right. And then, what was it, like a week later?
Yeah.
A week later, they called me and they were like, hey, I know we said that you're too tall, but like, could you go out on tour for 2 months just to cover while we like switch in some new people?
We
and
put books on his head.
And I was like, yeah, sure, that's fine.
Oh my God, measuring day was such a bad thing.
But yeah, and to my great surprise, I went out on tour, and Nick Tremard was also on tour.
He was also too tall.
He was also too tall for Broadway. Yeah, he was also too tall for Broadway. So they asked him to have to tour to Broadway. But yeah.
So we're gonna make every strong effort to do some credits on everybody because I think we're over 50 shows. There's got to be more than 50 shows.
Across all of the performers tonight, we have an incredible amount.
Let's list some.
So Nick's credits. Nick was in Mary Poppins with me. He was also in Oklahoma, Jersey Boys, Mamma Mia, and Wicked. And his wonderful wife, Desi, is also performing with him. And her credits are she was in West Side Story, she was also in Peter Pan.
But together, they are called Superheroes in Love.
Yes, and you can find them on Instagram.
And YouTube.
And they do the most beautiful work together, and so we're really excited to be able to have them tonight.
Yeah, they make some incredible content, and we have a little example of the kind of stuff that they post on a regular basis. So I hope you enjoy.
Take a look and you'll see into your imagination.
We'll begin with a spin, traveling in a world of our creation. What we'll see will define explanation.
If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it.
Anything you want to do it.
Wanna change the world, there's nothing to it. There is no life I know to compare with your imagination. Living there, you'll be free
if you truly
wish to. Pure imagination. Take a look and you'll see
into your imagination.
There is no place to go to compare with pure imagination. So go there.
We'll go there
to be free.
Anywhere if you truly wish to be.
So go there.
We'll go there
to be free.
Everywhere
if you truly wish to be.
Special thanks go out to Nick and Desi, who did such a fantastic job with that and brought their baby girl in there.
And they're in Disney right now, so we're super jealous.
We're a big Disney family.
Disney is something really important to our family, if you couldn't tell from all of the pictures of us together. It's not only the stories and the magic, but also the music and the characters, and a place to be together. So that's something that's been really important to our family since as long as I can remember.
Since Chloe got her wish from Make-A-Wish when she was 5 or so.
I was 3. Yeah, I was 3. So when we stayed at Give Kids the World and went to Walt Disney World for Chloe's wish. It was one of the most magical experiences because while we did a really good job as kids living a life where what was happening around us was very normal, not everybody around us was able to do the same, but Disney was a place where not only were we treated equally, but we were treated with extra special care and
Extra
magic.
Yeah.
A little bit of pixie dust right there. So that is...
I feel like they dumped pixie dust on Chloe, though.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, Chloe's here, let's just give as much pixie dust.
Chloe was actually their source of pixie dust.
And so the you'll find that this magic that happens is a very consistent theme, especially in our family story. As well as, finding people and picking them up along the way, which leads us to our next performer, whose name is Jonathan Timpanelli, who happened to be the very lucky 6th person in a row on an airplane of 3 Rands and 2 Rands, and then Jonathan. And we were going
was he in the window?
He was in the window.
Yeah, he was in the window. He was literally surrounded by
Rands.
Rands.
He couldn't get out. And we had a chocolate bar, and of course we were like, hey, you want this chocolate bar? And he was like, I never turn down chocolate. So we started talking to him, asked him, what he was doing, why he was headed down to Florida, and he said, I'm a comedian. If you remember from our video earlier, Tarzan Rocks, that was something that was really, really important to my sister Chloe. Well, things always change at Disney, and Tarzan Rocks transformed magically into Finding Nemo the Musical, which Jonathan Timpanelli found himself in probably like within the year after having met him on the airplane. He went on to do the School of Rock National Tour, and now he lives in New York and has an amazing, beautiful instrument. So we are so excited to have him. And he's going to be singing If I Sing from Closer Than Ever, which speaks very much to the importance of making music and using your voice in honor of somebody that you love.
My name is Jonathan Timpanelli. I am unbelievably honored to be asked to perform for Virtually Breathless amongst all of the talent. A little bit about this song. This is the song called If I Sing from Closer Than Ever. The first time I heard this song was when my dad's a singer, and he was diagnosed with myasthenia gravis, and his vocal cord was paralyzed, and he couldn't sing anymore. And this song, I heard it in college, and I sang it, and I could not get through it without crying. But I have become stronger and emotionally stable. And so I'd love to do this song for you. It's beautiful, and I hope you guys enjoy it. My father's pride was in his hands. The piano was his soul. I watched in wonder as he played show tunes, miles off from rock and roll. What he loved, he taught me. Now music's what I do. And often when I'm writing in my hands, Dad's there too. If I sing, you are the music. If I fly, you're why I'm put. If my hands can find some magic, you're the one who said they could.
If the child who's still inside me finds a song in empty air, when there is joy in making music, it is you who put it there. My dad grew old, his hands grew numb, and now he cannot play. I came to visit. He sat and asked me, how can it be this way? I couldn't find an answer. I played this tune for him instead. My father sat there smiling, for he knew what it said. If I sing, you are the music. If I love, you taught me how. Every day your heart is beating in the man that I am now. If my ears are tuned to wander, if when I reach the chords are there, when there is joy in making music, it's a joy that we both share. I never told you it took time till I could see that if I sing, you are the music, and you'll always sing in me. Yes, you'll always live in me.
Thank you to United Therapeutics for sponsoring Virtually Breathless.
Hi everyone, for those of you who have never been to a Breathless on Broadway, my name is Rachel Abraham and I have pulmonary hypertension. For those of you who have been to a Breathless on Broadway, my name's Rachel Abraham and I have pulmonary hypertension. Surprise, that part hasn't changed. A lot of things, however, have changed. You can tell by the fact that I am in my living room and not at Sardi's with all of you. A lot of things have changed over the past year. Let's just chalk it up to the given circumstances, the pandemic, if you will. But I'm not here to talk about that, and unfortunately I'm not here to sing. I don't have any Broadway credits under my belt. I have been told I sing like a beached whale, so really it's for the best. But I am here to talk to you about what it's like to live with pulmonary hypertension on a day-to-day basis, because that's what I've been doing for the past 22 years. I was born with pulmonary hypertension, they cut the umbilical cord, I turned blue, and everyone sort of freaked out. Needless to say, because a tiny blue baby is not the move. But since then, I have been living my life with pulmonary hypertension, but obviously it does not define me as a person. Yeah, I have this fun, not so fun diagnosis, but that is not my entire personality. Needless to say, I'm standing here in front of all of you with a partner I love, roommates I adore, a robust plant collection I will not stop talking about, and friends and family who I have been lucky enough to have come into my life. In addition to that, I am graduating from undergrad at American University when you see this in about 48 hours, which is crazy to me because, you know, when you have pulmonary hypertension, you're sort of thinking about getting to the next day
and not to the next milestone. And then you get to the next milestone and you're like, oh wow. And it's things like that that remind all of us to have hope, which I have been told is the theme for this year's Breathless, which is absolutely incredible because there are so many things that we can all be so hopeful for in the future. Whether that is a cure, whether that is alternative treatments, whether that is new and better choices for people like me and other people with pulmonary hypertension to have. So thank you for coming and thank you for supporting this cause. And thank you if you choose to donate for doing so. Every single dollar counts and goes to improving people's quality of life, not just for me, but for quite literally everyone else with this really awful disease. So thank you so very much. I'm gonna let you get back to the main event because you didn't come here for me, you came for the Broadway stars. So have a great rest of your night. Thank you so much for all of you for contributing, for raising awareness, for coming out tonight, or I guess logging on. And we hope to see you next year at hopefully not virtually Breathless. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much to Jonathan for becoming part of the Breathless family for the first time this year. I'd just like to put a little caveat in here that Jonathan has also worked closely with our friend Billy Flanagan. Mm-hmm. Billy has been a family friend since, if you watch the earlier clips where he's singing to Chloe during Tarzan Rocks at Disney World, and he kisses her on the nose, it caused a wave that began a friendship of a lifetime between this performer and this little girl, and he loved her so dearly. So when I found out they loved one another so dearly, so when I found out that Jonathan and Billy somehow found one another, it just shows how small our very big community is.
Yes.
And then I'd like to also say thank you to Rachel Abraham for her never-ending support of everything that we do, no matter how crazy it is. She is willing to jump in. And it's not just Rachel. She's got a whole family behind her who are equally involved in helping us do the work that we love to do. And I'm really excited for Rachel that she's graduating. Woo! And on to the next phase of her life, because as I think she said she was diagnosed at birth and is still doing beautifully, and we want to keep seeing that happen because we want to see all of the next things that are coming for her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you for always being such a fantastic ray of light and always participating in Breathless. We love you.
You have seen earlier our brand new jingle that we are so excited to share with you, Vax Presents of Nation Vaccination. This is now on YouTube, available for sharing. It is so important that we are going out and getting our COVID-19 vaccinations. We wanted to make this exciting and fun, so our little character Vax should be all over the place, and we want to thank Noah Sunday Lefkowitz for music and lyrics, Harrison Ingemarson for his beautiful arrangement, and Niger Bunn for his animation skills.
And make sure to follow us on Instagram at Breathless on Broadway.
Also, while you're sharing our YouTube video, make sure you subscribe there too.
Mm-hmm.
So up next,
it's almost impossible to explain.
Almost impossible to explain. So okay, this is like one of the weirdest things to explain. What my best friend, his name is Zachary. My name is also Zachary. People often ask if that means I am my own best friend. No, he's a real person, and I have a video to prove it. But Zachary Sale
Is he his own best friend, though?
Yes. He is his own best friend. I am number 2. Zachary Sale. I met Zachary Sale immediately after I left the... Okay, actually, this is not true. I was going to say I met Zachary Sale immediately after I left the Mary Poppins National Tour, when he and I did the pre-Broadway run of A Christmas Story, the musical, in Kansas City. However, in reality, Zachary Sale and I met 2 years prior to that, when he came and saw me in Les Mis. We didn't know one another, but he does have a signed Les Mis poster with my name on it in his room. And then
So
2
good.
years later, we met one another, and we have been best friends ever since.
So wait, can I just set a little bit of a scene for this? Because imagine being, what were you, 11 and he was 12, maybe?
Yes, I think that, yeah.
11 and 12. And you go out to Kansas City, place you don't know, to go to work, tutoring during the day, and we're given full apartments to live in, and we're all living in the same building. It was just a world of chaos.
It's like college, but smaller.
It's smaller.
It's like college, but your mom is there to cook for you every day.
And your mom is also back at college.
And your mom is also there to make sure that you wake up in the morning, and your mom is also there to make sure that you get to work on time.
Correct.
Sometimes your siblings come out.
And sometimes your siblings come out and they can spend like entire holidays. It's like college, but it's all of the like easy fun parts. And you don't actually have to think about any of the hard parts.
So Zach and Zachary, and I'm just going to have to say this out loud, played my favorite video game for the entire time you guys were together during that course of that
Yes.
6 months.
A game for the GameCube called Chibi Robo.
And I cannot think of Zach and Zachary without thinking of Chibi Robo.
It is what founded our friendship. Like, we became friends because of Chibi Robo.
I mean, it got a little ridiculous because when I had to fly home for work, Zachary's dad put an extra bed in their apartment so that Zach could sleep there instead of in our apartment. So these are the kind of things that happen on tour. It's kind of like everything goes by the wayside and the dollar store becomes your best friend. And so now you can introduce Zachary.
Right. So Zachary has been working just as long as I have been. He started at the Sound of Music?
I think.
Chitty Chitty
I
Bang
thought
Bang?
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang
He
was
started with
first.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang National Tour.
That might be wrong, sorry.
But then we went to the Sound of Music International Tour, which I think specifically was Asia. He also did the Newsies National Tour, and he also just finished working on Becoming Nancy, which hopefully
is going
to come to Broadway when things open back up. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Let's just say he was crutchy on Newsies and the national tour and had that song that was just his. Which is
Yeah. So
Letters from the Refuge.
when Newsies went on tour, they added a song to the production specifically for his character, and so technically he was the first crutchy to ever perform that song, which is pretty cool. Anywho, Zachary and I love the song that we are going to perform for you, and we're performing together because we have the same name and he's my best friend. So please enjoy this video of the two of us performing.
Just us, me and you. What if this dialogue were set to music? What if what we're saying could be said in a song?
Hey, that's not a bad idea, perhaps we could use it. Music in a musical, how could we go wrong?
We could ask significant questions. We could get important points across.
Like, are we writing for art?
And is art a springboard for fame?
And will fame get folks to trust us? But will they trust us if it's just us, me and you?
To nobodies in New York.
Hey, I think it's working. We're discovering voices. Lots of things to think about when writing a show.
Creating a vehicle to showcase our choices. And I don't mean our vocal cords, I mean what's below.
Right.
We could ask significant questions. We could get important points across.
Like, are we writing for art?
And is art a springboard for fame?
But will fame get us a paycheck?
And will a paycheck mean that we're sellouts?
And if we sell out, will they yell out me and you?
To nobodies in New York.
patch. Maybe someday our show will get a theater, and if not this festival, then somewhere out west.
TV actors in our show, what could be better? We could...
Sweeter.
What?
The line is sweeter?
No, we talked about this. It doesn't make sense because I understand you want to rhyme it, but better, just it fits in the scansion more.
We agreed that the line would be sweeter.
Okay.
We've sang the song
a couple times.
A couple times.
I know. I don't want to think we're phoning it in, but like, I just want to get the lyrics. I want it to sound good,
just
for the people at home.
Please just say sweeter.
Okay, I'll say sweeter.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. It's just while we're stuck, do you have any other brilliant creative ideas? Because I don't want to have to do it again and start over with.
I'm glad you asked because I do have a few notes that I want to. Maybe we should take 5. Hey, Luna, we're just gonna come back in from the key change, but we need to take a break quickly. I gotta talk about a few things.
Okay, that's 5, everyone. Thank you.
Maybe someday our show will get a theater, and if not this festival, then somewhere out west.
TV actors in our show, what could be sweeter? Like that.
Yeah, that's better. That's great. We can get that girl who was on Empty Nest.
Dynamanoff.
Yes.
She's awesome. She was in Grease.
And leader of the pack.
We could ask significant questions. We could get important points across. Like, are we writing for art? And is art a springboard for fame? And will fame get us a sitcom? And will a sitcom get us on Ellen? And will Ellen get folks to like us? And if they like us, will they mic us, me and you? To nobodies in New York. Nobody's in New York.
Thank you, Zach and Zach.
I practiced really hard.
Thank you, Luna.
I practiced that quick change, and I got it down to a solid 0.3 milliseconds. That was live. We did that just now in another room. But I can't show you Zachary because he's asleep.
So our next performer is my dear friend Jessie Swim. Jessie Swim I actually met on the Mary Poppins tour, and we became instant friends. He is just so kind, and our friendship has been just nothing but like love since the day that I met him. And he also is really good at video games, and I like to play video games. So we got along really easily. Let me just say that in every single city we moved to, we had a new apartment, and the game systems traveled with the kid, you.
Yes.
And there were so many adults who came over to play games. So we, just like now, we were the hangout house.
Yes. So Jessie Swim, we met on the Mary Poppins tour, and not only is he a very special person for me, or to me, he is also, he and my mom have their own unique friendship as well.
We certainly do. When you're out on tour and not everybody knows everybody, it's a little, we had just shown up. It was Minneapolis. I knew nothing about the city. And Jesse said to me one of the first nights, he's like, hey, I'm the swing. And so I'm not on every night. So on the nights that I'm not on, if you want to come over and hang out, I'll just step out the stage door. So he would literally come out the stage door, we'd sit on like a curb or at a picnic table across the street. And unless they called him back in on some emergency, we just kind of hung out together. And it's now not even 2 years or so since Chloe's passed away, and I'm still fairly broken as a human being. And it was so nice to have Jesse just be there. And he's a super present empath, so he really got it. And so Jesse and I have had a lot of really fun things happen. Like 2 summers ago, I gave him one of my cars to use. When he had to go pick up his new car, I drove him. Like, we just kind of do things. It's like, hey Marie, hey Jesse, and that's kind of how we roll with things. So after Mary Poppins tour, Jesse ended up doing Mary Poppins on Broadway. And
so he did the little reverse.
He did the opposite.
He got shorter.
He got shorter, so they moved him on Broadway.
Right, he got shorter, over he goes. And then he became the Swingin' School of Rock, which I think was probably such a phenomenal experience for him. And he handled all the social media and made it so much fun for the rest of us on the outside world to watch in. So Jesse is singing tonight Beautiful City from Godspell. And for those of us who are New Yorkers, this was a really rough year. Our city was taken away from us. And yet the people who live there, we love our city. We love our city a lot. And this is a beautiful kind of homage to New York and the love for it. But I do want to say here that it's been announced that Broadway will be back in full swing at 100% in September, and we can't wait for the life to come back. And we are so grateful for all of our friends who will return to the stage and doing what they love. And somehow this song of Jesse's makes me think of that. So we're gonna.
I will say, having lived in the city throughout the entire last year, it's starting to come back.
Yeah.
And I think Jesse knows that too.
Nights of struggle, can we see a ray of hope? One pale thin ray, reaching for the day. We can build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city, not a city of angels. We can build a city of man. We may not reach the ending, but we can start. Slowly but surely mending, brick by brick, heart by heart. Now, maybe now, we start learning how we can build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city, not a city of angels. We can build a city of man. When your trust is all but shattered, when your faith is all but killed, you can give up, bitter and battered, or you can slowly start to build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city, not a city of angels, but finally a city of man. A city of man. A city of man.
Thank you, Jesse. We love you. Now, I do want to mention that tonight probably would not have been able to happen in this magnitude if it weren't for Jesse Swim. He is basically loved by everyone he meets. And so because of that, he reached out to a lot of his friends and was like, hey, do you want to come help us? And of course they all said yes because we love Jesse. And now we have a whole bunch of new friends that
And the Breathless family.
are a part of the Breathless family. So thank you, Jesse, for all of your help making tonight happen. Next up, we have another friend of mine from Les Mis. His name is Max Von Essen. Now, Max and I, Max and I were kind of like two peas in a pod. And I say that because Broadway, one of the most magical things about Broadway is that it's always fun all the time. And Max and I used to do this thing. He was the Enjolras to my Gavroche. And for those of you who are not familiar with Les Mis, we both die on a barricade together. And we used to have this competition to see who could look the most dead when we were killed. And I like to say that I always won, but I'm pretty sure he would probably disagree. Anyway, Max's credits are spectacular. He was in Jesus Christ Superstar, he was in Les Mis, he was in Evita, An American in Paris, and Anastasia. And tonight, he is performing Out There from Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Safe behind these windows and these parapets of stone, gazing at the people down below me. All my life I watch them as I hide up here alone, hungry for the histories they've shown me. All my life I memorize their faces, knowing them as they will never know me. All my life I wonder how it feels to pass a day not above them, but part of them. And out there, living in the sun, give me one day out there. All I ask is one to hold forever, out there where they all live unaware. What I'd give, what I'd dare, just to live one day out there among the millers and the weavers and their wives. Through the roofs and gables I can see them. Every day they shout and scold and go about their lives, heedless of the gift it is to be them. If I was in their skin, I'd treasure every instant out there, strolling by the Seine, taste the morning out there, like ordinary men who freely walk about there. Just one day, and then I swear I'll be content with my share. Won't resent, won't despair, oh then bend, I won't care. I have spent one day out there.
Well, thank you, Max. I have to imagine, sometimes I stop and imagine it and think of what it's like to be a 9-year-old boy on stage with people of this caliber, getting to listen to them sing every night. Really special experience. Our next performer is my friend and I don't know, maybe partner in crime, Carol Angela, who we also met on the Mary Poppins tour.
Yes.
And my favorite experience was that Carol and another friend of ours, Wendy, who we barely knew at the time, decided that we were going to go to a Renaissance fair.
Yeah.
And to this day, we talk about how Carol and Zach rode their first elephant together. And there was an awesome palm reading that happened.
Yeah, there were 2 missions when we went. Mission in order of operations for me, in order of importance. Mission number 1 was to get a staff. And mission number 2 was Carol's, and Carol wanted to make sure that we all got our palm read.
So that happened.
Did it tell you anything good?
It told Zach that he was going to travel for a very long time, and we were on tour.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Spot on.
Spot on.
Spot on.
So that was the Mary Poppins tour, and Carol has also been in Here Lies Love, which is, if you haven't seen it, amazing, and Miss Saigon. And tonight she's going to sing Just Around the River Bend from Pocahontas, featuring Leo London, her son.
We love you, London.
We love you, London. We still want to know how the first day of preschool was 2 days ago.
What I love most about rivers is you can't step in the same river twice. The water's always changing, always flowing. But people, I guess, can't live like that. We all must pay a price. To be safe, we lose our chance of ever knowing what's around the river bend, waiting just around the river bend. I love once more, just around the river bend, beyond the shore, where the gulls fly free. Don't know what for, what I dream the day might send, just around the river bend for me. Right behind these waterfalls, can I ignore the sound of distant drumming? For a handsome, sturdy husband who builds handsome, sturdy walls, and never dream that something might be coming. Just around the river bend, waiting just around the river bend. I look once more, just around the river bend, beyond the shore, somewhere past the sea. Don't why do all my dreams extend just around the river bend? Just around the river bend. Should I choose the smoothest course, steady as the beating drum? To what plans should I succumb? Is all my dreaming at an end? Or do you still wait for me, dream giver? Just around the river bend.
He is just something amazing, and we are so excited to have him. So without further ado, Raymond J. Lee performing Tomorrow and Defying Gravity.
bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Just thinking about tomorrow clears away the cobwebs and the sorrow till there's none. When I'm stuck in a day that's gray and lonely, I just stick on my chin and grin and say, oh, tomorrow, tomorrow, I love you tomorrow, you're only a day away. Something has changed within me. Something is not the same. I'm through with playing by the rules of someone else's game. Too late for second guessing. Too late to go back to sleep. It's time to trust my instincts. Close my eyes and leap. It's time to try defying gravity. I think I'll try defying gravity, and you can't pull me down. And nobody in all of us, no wizard that there is or was, is ever gonna bring me down. Tomorrow, I love you tomorrow. You're only a day away. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much, Raymond.
Come on,
when I
that was
watched the
gorgeous.
video for the first time, I was like, oh my god, that's so beautiful. When you said that you wanted to sing Tomorrow and Defying Gravity together, we were all like, okay, I mean, you do you. But I was spectacular.
He did him.
He did him. So up next, I want to introduce my friend Lala. Lala has been my friend for years. When I was in Les Mis, she was in South Pacific on Broadway, and she is spectacular, and I love her dearly. So here she is.
My name is Larissa Romaine, and this is Hope. I hope that the world stops raining, stops turning its back on the earth, so nobody here is blameless. I hope that we can fix all that we've done. I really hope Martin can't see this. I hope that we still have a dream. I'm hoping that change isn't hopeless. I'm hoping to start it with me. I just hope I'm not the only one. I just hope I'm not the only one. I hope we start seeing forever instead of what we can gain in a day. I hope we start seeing each other, 'cause don't we all bleed the same? I really hope someone can hear me, that a child doesn't bear the weight of a gun. Hope I found a voice within me to scream at the top of my lungs. I just hope I'm not the only one. Yeah, I just hope I'm not the only one. Louder, well, I cannot hear you. How could things be better left unsaid? Oh, call me, well, call me a dreamer, we still have a heartbeat. I hope we don't turn to stone. At night when you turn the lights off, I hope you don't cry alone. I hope we stop taking for granted all of the land and all of the sea. I'm taking a chance on loving. I hope that you take it with me. I just hope I'm not the only one. I just hope I'm not the only one. I just hope I'm not the only one.
Thank you to Acceleron for sponsoring Virtually Breathless.
It's been a year, it's finally here, the COVID-19 vaccine. That little vial will make you smile, the COVID-19 vaccine. Can't you see immunity is best for our community, creating safer futures for us all. So stop the spread, no need to dread the COVID-19 vaccine. One dose or two will see you through the COVID-19 vaccine. A nation vaccination, don't miss this new sensation. Come on and do your part, no better time to start. So go and get the COVID-19 vaccine.
So, Vax, Rand, the main character of our jingle, just made an Instagram account. So if you like Vax, why don't you go and follow?
At VaxRand.
Great.
Bum, bum,
New
bum.
member of our family.
Yes.
We've all been doing stuff.
Yeah, so everybody's been
so
busy.
Vax is returning our country back to normal.
Uh-huh.
So let me just say a little bit about that.
Okay.
The jingle is critically important to share so that people will get vaccinated. We're only at 35% and we need to be higher than that. So let's just get the shots in people's arms so that we can get back to some normal.
Don't miss this new sensation.
Come on and do your part.
No better time to start.
That's all.
Okay, we're done.
So let's do a little, Zach, what are you up to these days?
Well, I graduated from college in December, and there aren't really like shows going on. So to fulfill my creative need, I have been streaming on Twitch twice a week. On twitch.tv/flakesaz. So if you like video games and you like, I don't know, watching somebody be an idiot, and you like a really loving and welcoming community, then you should head over there.
And I make a cameo.
Oh yeah. Mom makes a cameo, Ava makes a cameo, Elijah makes a cameo, Liv hasn't made a cameo yet.
Elijah, what's happening for you?
I just recently finished my Eagle Scout project. Yeah, so that's pretty exciting, and I'm about to graduate high school.
Nice.
Nice. And are you going to college?
Yeah, I am.
Yay!
Very good.
Ames, what about you?
I am doing college. I'm a sound designer and a scenic design major. So lots of work, lots of projects, but it's lots of fun and...
Lots of Central Park in New York City.
Yeah, just doing the college in New York City, but like kind of not really because we're online kind of thing.
It's been that kind of year. And Liv?
Let's introduce you to a new member of our family, my boyfriend Nate, who is here and is supporting us. And
Everyone say hello.
hi, Nate.
Hi. Everyone.
And I've never had a date at Breathless on Broadway before, other than Giuseppe. So I'm really excited to introduce him to all of you tonight.
All right, thank you.
All right, so
Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So next up.
So next up, we have another one of my friends from Les Mis, and this was actually my entourage before Max von Essen. You know, I was saying before, it's like all fun and games backstage, and you know, some people don't necessarily realize the impact that they have on especially a kid's life. But I'm standing backstage. I'm about to go on stage my opening night for the first time.
I'm in the audience, like.
And so I'm standing in the wings, and Aaron just leans down to me and he goes...
You have to say who he is, Aaron.
Oh, Aaron Lazar.
Yeah.
Did I not say his name? I thought I said
You
his name.
did. I didn't hear it.
Anyway.
Sorry.
Aaron leans down to me and he says, "You nervous?" And I look at him and I go, "No." And then I run out on stage and I do my first ever Broadway performance. And after that interaction, he deemed me the Iceman. Which has sort of been like a low-key nickname of mine literally since that day. Legitimately, throughout all of high school, my name in Chinese was inspired by the Iceman. It's always just been like a thing that I've carried with me. So thanks, Aaron, for giving me my lifelong nickname.
So, Aaron's done a few things.
Just a few.
You want to go?
Yeah, he's done Phantom of the Opera, The Last Ship, A Little Night Music, Dear Evan Hansen, Filthy Rich on Fox, Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame. You should look up his IMDb because it's pretty cool who he plays. Les Mis with me, and he just recently came out with an album called Broadway Lullabies.
Which everybody should look up because it has just
So many beautiful
voices. Ashley Brown, Jeff Crady, and Nikki Renee Daniels, who were in Les Mis with Zach. Ashley Brown was Mary Poppins with Zach. There's just it's just wonderful. And if you have children, it's an amazing thing to have. So.
And if you don't have children and you are 23 years old and have insomnia, it's a wonderful thing to listen to.
So Aaron's doing Impossible Dream from Man of La Mancha.
To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right, without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest, and the world will be better for this, that one man, scorned and covered with scars, still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable stars.
So they often say it's a small world after all, right? Aaron Lazar gave us this beautiful, beautiful performance of The Impossible Dream, and in our submissions for the video that you saw earlier in the day with all of our pulmonary hypertension patients, we found the most interesting thing. A 36-second clip of that exact same song from somebody whom none of us had ever met before. And we said, well, I guess it's time to reach out and figure out who this brilliant talent is. And which is why we are so excited to welcome Amelia and Marion to the Breathless family, who came to us by surprise, and we are so excited to have him. He as well has a history in Les Mis as Marius in Shanghai in 2018, which happens to be when I lived there, and in the South Korea 2019 international tour. Tonight, he has graced us with Why God Why from Miss Saigon, and we are so thankful to have him.
Saigon never sleep at night. Why do these girls smell of orange trees? How can I feel good when nothing's right? Why is she cool when there is no breeze? Vietnam. You don't give answers to your friends, just questions that don't ever end. My God, why today? I'm all through here, on my way. There's nothing left here that I'll miss. Why send me now, a night like this? Who is the girl in this rusty bed? Why am I back in a filthy room? Why is a voice ringing in my head? Why am I high on a cheap perfume? Vietnam. Hey look, I mean, you no offense, but why does nothing here make sense? Why, God, show your hand? Why can't one guy understand? I've been with girls who knew much more. I never felt confused before. Why me? What's your plan? I can't help her. No one can. I liked my memories as they were, but now I live remembering her. When I went on before, no one talked of the war. When they knew from TV, didn't have a thing to do with me. I went back and re-upped, sure Saigon is corrupt. It felt better to be here driving for the embassy. Cause if you can pull a string, a guy like me lives like a king. Just as long as you don't believe anything. My God,
remembering her. Just her.
So next up, we have another duet. My friend Ali Ewalt is performing with...
My friend Ryan Silverman.
I know Ali from Les Mis. Ali's been in The King and I, Les Mis, Phantom of the Opera, and she is just an amazing talent and one of the sweetest people I have ever known.
She also did a Breathless Off-Broadway with us.
She did do a Breathless Off-Broadway with us. And if you don't know what Breathless Off-Broadway is, it's Breathless on Broadway, but not on Broadway.
Coming into
It is off-Broadway.
At a conference, in your office, at your house,
We haven't
wherever
done
you
any
want.
of those yet, but it's a thing, it exists, and it's part of the Breathless conglomerate.
And I know Ryan from the Philly Pops Festival Chorus and the Philly Pops Orchestra. And he as well was in Phantom of the Opera, as well as Chicago Crybaby and Sideshow. So the two of them have in common the Phantom of the Opera.
And so from their respective bathtubs, they are bringing
Bathtubs.
All I Ask of You from Phantom of the Opera.
No more talk of darkness, forget these wide-eyed fears. I'm here, nothing can harm you. My words will warm and calm you. Let me be your freedom, let daylight dry your tears. I'm here, with you, beside you, to guard you and to guide you.
Still love me every waking moment. Turn my head with talk of summertime. See you need me with you now and always. Promise me that all you say is true. That's all I ask of you.
Let me be your shelter, let me be your light. You're safe, no one will find you. Your fears are far behind you.
All I want is freedom, a world with no more night, and you always beside me, to hold me and to hide me.
Then say you'll share with me one love, one lifetime. Let me lead you from your solitude. Say you need me with you here beside you. Anywhere you go, let me go too. That's all I ask of you.
Say you'll share with me one love, one lifetime. Say the word and I will follow you. Stay with me each night, each morning. Say you love me.
No, I do.
Thank you to Altivant for sponsoring Virtually Breathless.
It's been a year, it's finally here, the COVID-19 vaccine. That little vial will make you smile, the COVID-19 vaccine. Can't you see immunity is best for our community, creating safer futures for us all. So stop the spread, no need to dread the COVID-19 vaccine. One dose or two will see you through the COVID-19 vaccine. A nation vaccination, don't miss this new sensation. Come on and do your part, no better time to start. So go and get the COVID-19 vaccine.
Follow VaxRand on Instagram.
Yeah, follow VaxRand on Instagram. New account, 1 post, couple of followers. We need more.
Liv, did you have something you wanted to
Yeah, so we have a lot of options to donate on your screen. You can scan your QR code, text BOB to the number, or there's a link as well on the website to donate to us. And when you donate, you can leave a message. So I actually just wanted to read this message that we received, because to answer Rebecca's question, that's what we do during the breaks.
Rebecca asked, what do we do during the breaks? This is it.
So this says, this is a wonderful program. Thank you so much for sharing your story and your talent in this entertaining way. Liv has meant so much to me and to my students, and now that I have met this family, I now understand where her amazing charisma, talent, and drive come from. Much love to you all, Stephanie Berger, who taught me how to be a music teacher and share my voice. So that's fun when you guys do that, so keep doing that. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your message, and thank you for your donations, and keep them coming.
Yeah. And up next is?
Up next is my friend Q Smith. Now Q Smith, interestingly enough, was in Les Mis with me, and then was on the Mary Poppins tour, and I didn't know that she was on the Mary Poppins tour until I got there.
So did Q get taller or shorter?
Q
shorter. Broadway to tour.
Broadway to tour means taller.
Q got taller. So Q got too tall for Les Mis, but Les Mis closed, so it didn't matter. But then she was too tall to go into Mary Poppins, so they just put her on tour.
And Come From Away.
She was also in Come From Away,
which is coming back, which is.
Oh, it's coming back.
They're doing a movie thing, like
yeah.
A lot's happening.
You may or may not hear one of our dogs, Winthrop, barking, and it just because he is so excited that We Come From Away is coming back. Q is one of those people that is just a light and love, just through and through, just
so
an
good.
Incredible person who just makes you feel so good when you're around her, and I'm so glad that she is here, a part of the Breathless family.
So thank you to Q,
Thank you to Q.
Enjoy her, because we certainly do.
Q is performing I've Got a Feeling, I'm Falling, from Ain't Misbehaving.
We've all experienced tragedy, and in the midst of it, it's hard to find your way back up again. So my personal remedy for that is laughter and love. And I think this song is a perfect combination of the two. So cheers to laughter, cheers to love, cheers to moving forward and finding a cure. Oh, honey. Oh, honey. You're driving me crazy. I don't know my elbow from my ear. It's funny, so funny. Show me the ring and I'll jump right through. I used to travel single, we chance to mingle. Now I'm a tingle over you. Hey, Mr. Parsons, stand by, for I got a feeling I'm falling for nobody else but you.
Next up is my friend T. Oliver Reed. T and I met when I was in Mary Poppins, and he and I sort of immediately had a bond because during Step in Time, there's a part where Jane and Michael are walking across chimneys in the background, and then two chimney sweeps flip them off of those chimneys onto the ground, and T happens to be the person who flipped me every night. So I mentioned before that like the Breathless community filled me with trust and love, and I could tell how much they cared, and part of that is because I trusted T with my very life. So T's credits include Mary Poppins, Once on This Island, Follies, Kiss Me Kate, Chicago Sister Act, and Hadestown, which is freaking spectacular. I love you, T. Thank you so much for always coming and participating in Breathless. You're spectacular.
And she is going to sing So That I Can Sob Hysterically, Bring Him Home from Les Mis, which I saw 26 or 30 times when you were in the show. And at this moment, aren't you sleeping on the floor while Jean Valjean is singing this song?
Yes.
And didn't you sometimes actually fall asleep because you were so little?
Often.
Excellent. Okay, so T.
He's like the son I might have known if God had granted me a son. The summers die one by one. How soon they fly on and on. And I am old and will be gone. Bring him joy. He is young. He is only a boy. You can take, you can give. Let him If I die, let me die. Let him live. Bring him home. Bring him home. Bring
Thanks to Gossamer Bio for sponsoring Virtually Breathless. Next up, we have Katie Micah. Katie Micah I've known since I started working on Broadway. Katie was in Gypsy while I was in Les Mis, and after that she did How the Grinch Stole Christmas and Billy Elliot on Broadway, and she just recently choreographed the Mr. Rhymes music video, which I would highly recommend checking out.
And she's one of the few that has performed at every single Breathless on Broadway.
Every single Breathless on Broadway. And she knows how much we love her and appreciate her. And she has come with us on a couple of Breathless off-Broadways as well. So with that, Katie is going to take it over with Before It's Over from Dogfight.
An awkward girl with her guitar, keeping to herself. Friday nights alone, with the records on her shelf. A waitress pouring ginger ale and coke. Someone you ask out as a joke. I've been that girl who fades away, accepting what I've got. Stuck in what I am, and everything I'm not. I've only seen this tiny world I'm in, where I can only be what I've been. See a world, beautiful and strange, spinning off somewhere, saying meet me there. Look, how fast it runs away, saying follow close and reach for me. See that you've got so much more to be before it's over. Before it's over. I can't go write another song. I'm too afraid to play or dream how things could change, but only see what's in my way. I can't go back to what I was before, now that I can see so much more. See a world, beautiful and strange, on a one-way track, and it won't come back. Look, how fast it runs away, saying follow close and reach
Thank you, Katie. We love you. Next up is our dear friend Giuseppe Basilio, who is part of our family and has like a million credits, but came to America to be in Billy Elliot. As Billy, and then was in Newsies, Aladdin, Cats the Musical, Hello Dolly, did a TV show at some point in the middle, The Next Step, and most recently, before the pandemic, you could see him in Hamilton as Samuel Seabury.
I actually saw him in Chicago in Hamilton. Cool. And took him out for his 21st birthday for dinner. So I played his mom for the evening because his mom couldn't make it to Chicago.
Sonia was probably in a beautiful country in Europe.
Sonia was on, she was on FaceTime with us. We just all had dinner. Yeah, that's
before it was cool.
Giuseppe, I have a lot of things planned for future virtually breathless content. So if you wouldn't mind, just shoot me a text real quick. We got some stuff to talk about.
You say the price of my love's not a price that you're willing to pay. You cry in your tea, which you hurl in the sea when you see me go by. Why so sad? Remember we made an arrangement when you went away. Now you're making me mad. Remember, despite our estrangement, I'm your man. You'll be back, soon you'll see. You'll remember you belong to me. You'll be back, time will tell. You'll remember that I served you well. Oceans rise, empires fall. We have seen each other through it all. And when push comes to shove, I will send a fully armed battalion to remind you of my love. Da 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 da. You say our love is draining and you can't go on. You'll be the one complaining when I am gone. And no, don't change the subject, 'cause you're my favorite subject. My sweet, submissive subject. My royal subject. Forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. You'll be back like before. I will fight the fight and win the war. For your love, for your praise. And I'll love you till my dying days. When you're gone, I'll go mad. So don't throw away this thing we have. 'Cause when push comes to shove, I will kill your friends and family to remind you of my love. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Everybody, da 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 da
Thank you, Giuseppe. I'd now like to introduce Samantha Blair Cutler. Sometimes funny things happen for us, like somebody brings a friend to Breathless, and it turns out that Katie, Micah, and Sam are best friends, and Sam showed up kind of not knowing why she was coming one year, and she's been with us ever since, and we love her for it. Her credits include Dear Evan Hansen, Billy Elliot, Orange is the New Black on TV, and she would like us to watch Ghost on Showtime.
Stars.
Oh, I'm so sorry. On Stars. Good thing everybody in the room could correct me. She's going to do Pretty Funny from Dogfight.
Close the window, draw the curtain. Hide the bright light of the moon. Hang the dresses, ugly dresses. No one likes maroon. Wipe off all that stupid lipstick. Return the earrings to their case. Makeup won't make any difference. It's still the same old face. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny you believed that it was real? Pretty funny. All disasters have an upside. You can find one if you try. You went dancing, you were dancing. You were dancing with a guy. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny? Aren't you funny? Pathetically naive and desperate to believe you can always find some good. Well, you misunderstood, or you've been dreaming. 'Cause people are just cruel. Shut the light off, turn the bed down. No more crying, don't you dare. You'll wake up sometime tomorrow and forget to even care. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny? For a moment he convinced me I could be pretty.
Thank you to Stage Door Design for sponsoring Virtually Breathless.
It's been a year, it's finally here, the COVID-19 vaccine. That little vial will make you smile, the COVID-19 vaccine. Can't you see immunity is best for our community, creating safer futures for us all. So stop the spread, no need to dread the COVID-19 vaccine. One dose or two will see you through the COVID-19 vaccine. A nation vaccination, don't miss this new sensation. Come on and do your part, no better time to start. So go and get the COVID-19 vaccine.
Hello, this is Wyatt.
Wyatt says, follow VaxFriend on Instagram.
It's really important. He needed to be here to tell you. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, good boy.
So sleepy.
He's so tired.
Next up,
we have Kevin Massey and Kara Lindsay. Kevin Massey I met in Sarasota, Florida when he and I were doing the pre-Broadway run of Bonnie and Clyde the musical together. And Kevin is the kind of person who is just always so calm and relaxing to be around. He's just a welcoming presence, and Kara is just always joy.
okay, so Bonnie and Clyde the musical, my part, Kevin taught me what it meant to eat gluten-free. Kevin was the first person to take Elijah to Jason's Deli. Which was really super important.
Big deal for two reasons: baked potatoes that are this big, and free ice cream bar.
And probably most importantly, when he and Jeremy Jordan did "You Can Do Better Than Him," the duet, I literally fell in love with Kevin's voice. So you want to go down their list of...
Yeah, so Kevin was in Big River the musical, Tarzan on Broadway, Memphis the musical, Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, and Bonnie and Clyde the musical with me.
And Kara?
And Kara was in Beautiful on Broadway, Newsies, and Wicked.
Taking stock of what I have and what I haven't. What do I find? The things I got will keep me satisfied.
Checking up on what I have and what I haven't. What do I find? A healthy balance on the credit side. Got no diamond, got no pearl, still I think I'm a lucky girl. I got the sun in the morning and the moon at night.
I got the sun in the morning and the moon at night.
Got no mansion, got no yacht, still I'm happy with what I got. I got the sun in the morning and the moon at night.
I got the sun in the morning and the moon at night.
Sunshine gives me a lovely day. Moonlight gives me the Milky Way. Got no checkbooks, got no banks, still I'd like to express my thanks. I got the sun in the morning and the moon at night.
I got the sun in the morning and the moon at night.
And with the sun in the morning and the moon in the evening, I'm alright.
I got no butler, got no maid, still I think I've been overpaid. I got the sun in the morning and the moon at night.
He's got the sun in the morning and the moon at night.
Got no silver, got no gold, what I got can't be bought or sold. I got the sun in the morning and the moon at night.
He's got the sun in the morning and the moon at night.
Sunshine gives me a lovely day. Moonlight gives me the Milky Way. Got no heirlooms for my kin, I made no will, but when I cash in, I leave the sun in the morning and the moon at night.
I leave the sun
I'm with the sun in the morning and the moon in the evening. They're alright.
Cool.
Hi. I got the sun in the morning. I got the sun in the morning and the moon in the evening, and I'm alright.
Next up is Michael Lanning. Michael Lanning I also met in Sarasota, Florida during the pre-Broadway run of Bonnie and Clyde. Michael Lanning is one of the harder people for me to explain that he's one of my closest friends. Not because of the age difference. Most of my friends get confused when I say that Michael was in a band with George Harrison, because none of them know who George Harrison is. He's the only Beatle whose name they don't know. But Michael Lanning has like an amazing classic rock soul voice, and he is as sweet as can be, and I love him with all of my heart.
So he's doing a piece from Northbound Train, which is from Civil War, which was written by Frank Wildhorn, and Bonnie and Clyde the musical was also written by Frank Wildhorn.
Both of which he was in on Broadway.
And he wrote my school's alma mater. He has an honorary degree from Marymount Manhattan College.
Okay, actually.
Yes.
I did not know that. Very cool. Well, here's Michael Lanning.
Read your letter about 100 times a day. I thought I'd better write before I'm on my way. We're moving out just where I can say. The Indiana snow fell mighty deep out here, so widow weed'll fetch a handsome price this year. We'll be alright when I get out of here. One more month living by the sword, one last valley to march through. 30 days till I climb aboard a northbound train back home to you. I met a southern boy down here in Tennessee. Must have been about the same age as me. We were both as scared as two men could be. We talked across the picket line till break of day, and while we talked there wasn't no blue or gray. There were just the things two farm boys will say. His voice drawled sweet as a mockingbird about drought and rain and the weather. And once at night we both swore we heard the whistle call of a northbound train. I asked him what he was fighting for. He said, 'Cause Yankee, you're down here. I said, that's something I can't understand. But I'm a son of an Indiana volunteer. I'm just trying to march through all my fear long enough to catch that northbound train. Now, Abby, when I finally get back home to you, don't ask me nothing about the things I've had to do to chill your soul, break your young heart in two. I ain't the same, Lord knows I've seen some fearful things, and I have heard the breathless beat of angels' wings when the bullets fly and the saber swings. Just one more month living by the sword, one last valley to march through. 30 days till I climb aboard a northbound train back home to you. Back home to you. On a northbound train.
Hello there. My name is Ellen Harvey, and I had the privilege of meeting the Rand family when Zach came out and joined the national tour of Mary Poppins, taking a little break from his Broadway gig of doing Mary Poppins. And I just remember when I first met the Rand family, I was struck by their kindness, their generosity, their humanity, their humor, and their just loving nature and loving support of each other and of friends. And so when they called and said, would you be interested in singing something for Breathless on Broadway? I said, absolutely. It would be my pleasure. So here it is, and we hope you enjoy it.
Easy now, hush, love, hush. Don't distress yourself, what's the rush? Keep your thoughts nice and lush. Wait, hush, love, hush. Think it through. Once it bubbles, then what's to do? Watch it close, let it brew. Wait, I've been thinking flowers, pretty daisies to brighten up the room. Don't you think that flowers, pretty daisies might relieve the gloom? Wait, love, wait. Slow, love, slow. Time is fast. Now goes quickly, see, now is past. Soon will come, soon will last. Wait. Don't you know, silly one, half the fun is to plan the plan. All good things come to those who can wait. Gillyflowers, maybe, instead of daisies. I don't know, though. What do you think? Gillyflowers, I say. Nothing like a nice bowl of gillies.
Thanks to Bayer Pharmaceutical for sponsoring Virtually Breathless.
It's been a year, it's finally here, the COVID-19 vaccine. That little vial will make you smile, the COVID-19 vaccine. Can't you see immunity is best for our community, creating safer futures for us all? So stop the spread COVID-19 vaccine.
Follow Vax Rand on Instagram.
No dog fights.
Just so you know, we've got all of the dogs here now. Next, I'd like to introduce our new friends, Tally Sessions and David Josephsberg, otherwise known as #Sessions with Josephsberg. Tally's credits include Company, Anastasia, Warpaint, Falsettos, School of Rock, Big Fish.
He was also in Becoming Nancy with Zachary Sale.
David's credits include Beetlejuice, The Prom, Waitress, Motown the Musical, and Grease. And we are so excited to show you Sessions with Josephsberg style, Me and My Shadow.
Excuse me. Could you make a little room, please?
I am roomed. You know, nice shirt.
Oh, you got a nice shirt.
Flowery.
What?
Flowery.
Flowery. Hi, folks. I'm Tally Sessions.
And I'm David Josephsberg.
And together we are Sessions Josephsberg.
You know, Tally and I have been blissfully happy for 30 years.
Yes, we have.
And then we met.
You know, David, the other day I was in a restaurant and the waitress asked me, "Sir, how do you find your steak?" I said, "Well, I look right next to the potatoes."
That's where it would be.
Folks, we're so happy to be singing for Breathless on Broadway.
Breathless on Broadway, thank you for having us.
Shall we sing?
We shall. Left hand.
Oh, sorry. Oh!
Like the wallpaper sticks to the wall.
Like the seashore clings to the sea.
Like you'll never get rid of your shadow. Tally, you'll never get rid of me.
Let all the others fight and fuss. Whatever happens, we've got us.
We're closer than pages that stick in a book. We're closer than ripples that play in a brook. Wherever you find him, you'll find me just are closer than a miser or the bloodhounds to Liza me.
Closer than Smoggies to all of LA. Closer than Bobby was to JFK. Not a soul can bust this team in two. We stick together like glue. And when it's sleeping time,
That's when we rise.
we start to swing.
Swing for the sky.
Our clocks don't chime.
What a surprise!
They ring. A ding ding. Happy New Year me.
Now to repeat what I said at the start. Don't need a large crowbar to tear us apart.
We're alone but far from blue. Before we get finished, we'll make the town roar. We'll make all the late spots and then a few more. We'll wind up at Chili's right after Toot Shore. Life is gonna be wee-wow-wee.
Here comes the party!
For my shadow and me.
Say, Tally.
Yeah.
Will you do me a favor?
What's that?
Will you mind taking it just one more time?
From the top?
No, from the ending.
Wonderful. And while we are swinging from mansion up you, we'll drop up at Tanny's, the little club too. But wind up at Chili's, whatever we do, life is gonna be wee-wow-wee. For my shadow and me.
Say, Tally.
No.
Okay.
All right. That was great. That was great. Hey, you know what? We should probably send this tape.
Yeah. Should we? Let's
send it. Thanks, guys.
Next up, okay, Wyatt has decided to join again. Next up, we have Maria Briggs and Kevin Shoring. And Maria came to us through Carol, which was amazing. And she brought Kevin along. Maria brought Kevin along.
I think, but Kevin came to Maria
through Carol. So Carol, very important. They're singing I Won't Give Up by Jason Mraz. Maria's credits include, Maria is the swing extraordinaire. Look her up. You should read the articles about her. Her credits include Frozen, Hello Dolly, Cats the Musical, and Mean Girls. And sometimes I think she was in Anastasia's Missing. And sometimes I think she was in more than one of those shows at the same time. And Kevin's credits include The K&I.
When I look into your eyes, it's like watching a night sky or a beautiful sunrise. Oh, there's so much they hold.
And just like them old stars, I see that you've come so far to be right where you are. How old is your soul?
'Cause I won't give up on us, even if the skies get rough. I'm giving you all my love. I'm still looking up. And when you're needing your space to do some navigating, I'll be here patiently waiting to see what you find.
'Cause even if the
Stars, they burn, some even fall to the earth. We've got a lot to learn. God knows we're worth it. No, I won't give up. I don't wanna be someone who walks away so easily. I'm here to stay and make the difference that I can make.
Our differences, they do a lot to teach us how to use the tools and gifts we got. Yeah, we got a lot at stake.
And in the end, you're still my friend. At least we did intend for us to work.
We didn't break, we didn't burn.
We had to learn how to bend without the world caving in. I had to learn what I got
and what I'm not,
and who I am. I won't give up on us, even if the skies get rough. I'm giving you all my love. I'm still looking up. I won't give up on us. God knows I'm tough enough. We've got a lot to learn. God knows we're worth it. I won't give up on us, even if the sky gets rough. I'm giving you all my love, I'm still looking up.
Thank you, Maria and Kevin. We love you.
Yeah, that was so beautiful.
So sometimes it's hard to explain what sort of meaning a friendship has in words, but I'm going to try. Maya Katz and I have known each other since the 2nd grade, before Elijah was born. And she is the only person outside of my family in my everyday life that knew my sister, Chloe. And it's really hard to be a person that grows up having someone and then losing somebody, because the people that you meet later in your life know you and love you and care about you, but they're never going to know all of you. Maya knows all of me, and she sings with me every year this piece that was performed at my sister's funeral.
I've heard it said that people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and we are led to those who help us most grow if we let them, and we help them in return. Well, I don't know if I believe that's true, but I know I'm who I am today because I knew you. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you, I have been changed for good.
It well may be that we will never meet again in this lifetime. So let me say before we part, so much of me is made from what I learned from you. You'll be with me like a handprint on my heart. And now whatever way our stories end, I know you have rewritten mine by being my friend. Like a ship blown from its mooring by a wind off the sea, like a seed dropped by a skybird in a distant wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? Because I knew you.
Because I knew you,
I have been changed for good. And just to clear the air, I ask forgiveness for the things I've done you blamed me for.
but then I guess we know there's blame to share,
And none of it seems to matter anymore. Like a comet pulled from orbit
for good.
Love you.
Love you too. Follow Vaxrand on Instagram.
I would like to thank everyone who attended this evening and hope that you will continue to learn about pulmonary hypertension and all of the great studies that are happening to help bring new medications to market and all of the existing medications that are available for people who live with PH. I have an amazing amount of hope in my heart that since the last 28 years brought 16 approved medications, we're going to see many more amazing things come. And your donations will help us do studies that will be instrumental in helping moving that forward. And our family is very focused on ensuring that happens. So thank you very much for all that you've done for us this evening.
Yeah, thanks for everyone. Thanks to everyone for showing up. If you haven't donated already, make sure you go to our website, click the donate button, find out how you can help us out. Also, if you haven't already, you should probably follow Vaxrand on Instagram because you're going to want to stay up to date because there's going to be Vax merch.
Vax merch.
You heard it here first. For more information about pulmonary hypertension, please visit phaware.global. And we hope that we've shed some light on something that you didn't know about. PH often goes misdiagnosed. So spreading the word, talking about what we know, and learning more is everything that we can do to make sure that we're helping the community. You say thank you.
Thank you everyone for coming.
Good night.